Hello, thank you for joining me over here. Now, I'm struck by how this reading seems to mirror Taurus's reading, just from the other perspective. So if you are dealing with a Taurus, that's a thing. But it doesn't, the Taurus bit doesn't need to be the sun sign. It could be their moon sign or their Venus sign or their Mars sign, something like that. It's not always that obvious. But even if you're not, I feel like the energetic presentation of the way that this situation comes at you, it's different to you. It's very slow moving and it's very rigid and it's very earthy, and it's quite forceful, but not in an aggressive way. Like I'm not concerned about your well-being or anything like that. In a safety sense, I'll just put that in there. It's just a very. Wish all these people would fuck off. That would be really nice. Anyway, it's just very different to you, and it's not something that you can kind of slide away from, because it feels like you're hemmed in slightly. So you can't, wait for them to blink and then just kind of dip out of the way. Like, this requires you to step up and almost meet them in the same way that they've presented to you. Almost, not quite, because you're not going to pull it off in the same way that you are, but you're going to bring that Piscean grace to the situation. And I think the most important part of this is that the other person or the other situation, like however it presents to you, will be disappointed, and that they will be disappointed. And I feel that's the reason why you're hemmed in, is because you can feel the potential for the disappointment that's coming through. And nevertheless, despite that, you still assert yourself over the situation, and that's huge. It's really big. People have to just stand underneath my window and just make loads of noise. So, as I said, we're going to look at March specifically and see what it's all about for you. Remember that when you're trying on a new side of yourself, right, and for you, where you've got that strong sense of self, you do what you want to do and all that sort of thing, you will often be sent a flurry of kind of situations where you get to exercise that new part of you that you've developed to make it stronger in reality, which is it kind of sucks when it's happening, but repetition makes you a master with these things, and I do feel like it's one of those situations. Tell me what's going on with Pisces for March, please. So, we have the Eight of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Knight of Swords first. What else do we have for Pisces for March, please? We have the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Swords. We have the High Priestess, there you are. One more place for Pisces, and we've got the Page of Cups here. Eight of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and I feel like this is, I was in the Taurus reading as well. This is, it's expectation. It's absolutely expectation, because we've got the Eight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles. Like, I don't feel like you want to collaborate, cooperate, build something here. At this point in time, it's not sitting with where you want to go or what you want to do. And even if you don't really have a clear idea of where you want to go or what it is that you want to do, that Fool card and the Star card together, I guess it's quite drifty energy, but it's it's you. It's where you want to go. It's what you want to do. You know, it's waiting for. It's not waiting for. It's ambling with no kind of expectation of arriving at a specific place. It's kind of like, let's go this way and see what happens, right? And that feels to me something like you are very strongly invested in at this time. Whereas what is presented to you has a kind of predictability, is what I just heard, that actually isn't sitting with you at the moment. Like, you don't want predictability in front of you right now. You want a little bit of... it's not even necessarily adventure. You're not even necessarily feeling that. It's just the ability to meet lots and lots of new situations head on as who you are now, without the weight of anybody else's expectations sitting on top of you. So we've got the Eight of Cups here. Like I said, that's it's a very strong card of moving away from a situation, and it's even more what's the word I'm looking for? Significant. I guess that word will do. It's even more significant for you because emotional investment is something that you do very, very well. Right? Tell me about the Eight of Cups, please. We've got the Emperor and we've got the Tower. Yeah. Well, ain't that the truth? Tell me about the Three of Wands, please. Wow. We've got the King of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Sun card. And tell me about the Knight of Swords, please. Ace of Pentacles. The Fool card, the Fool in reverse, there, and the Six of Cups. Right, yeah. There's that King of Wands at the bottom of the deck again. It's like Leo energy. Right, you could be dealing with a Leo, you could be dealing with a Taurus, you could actually be dealing with an Aries or a Scorpio. Both of those are very strongly implied. Got Aries again over here, Leo again over here. The sign doesn't really matter. It's the presentation of the energy, right? So this is fixed sign energy for the most part, and even where it's not fixed, like Aries, it's still very strong. It's very, very full on, and not something that it feels to me like you're particularly interested in dealing with at the moment. So we start with this Eight of Cups, like I said, and this moving away from something. Like, this is the important bit for you in March, is that you get to leave this behind, however it presents to you, however strongly it presents to you. Your free will is stronger, and you can say, no, I'm going to move away from this, I'm going to do something else. Because we've got this Emperor and we've got this Tower card here, and that Emperor came up for you in the YouTube reading, and it felt very strongly like control, somebody else's control attempting to be exerted over you. Now, I do not think in any way whatsoever that this person is attempting to control you, but that's how it feels to you because of the way that it's kind of stopped short what it is that you're wanting to do instead. God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 children and 4 adults all just been sat underneath my window, just squawking. That noise very vexatious to the soul. And we've got this Tower, right? The Emperor is bringing the Tower to your door. Like I said, this is Scorpio and also Aries. This is Aries here. It's big energy. It's really, really big energy, and it's just kind of sort of blowing up at you. And is it unexpected? I feel like it is unexpected. I don't think that you see this one coming exactly. And in some ways it can feel like the end of the fucking world, because it's that unexpected, you know? We've got the Emperor and the Tower, thank you. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Two of Pentacles. And we've got the Hermit, yeah. So I mean, there's a real sense of trying to make sense of this situation, what you want, what they want, whether those two things, you know, are in any way compatible whatsoever, in order that you can make a decision about it, right? In order that you can think clearly about it, because I just don't think that you see this coming at all. I think that this just, it's like some big mad monster just kind of stomping in front of you, which is not to say that there is any nefarious intent from the person or the situation that is in front of you at all. It just feels like this feeling of being like, is what I'm feeling really, really strongly here. There might be the best of intentions from this person, this situation, this group of people, whatever it is, it could be. But it's the fact that it's not in alignment with your energy and what you're trying to do at the moment that is important. The Hanged Man and the Hermit both talk about both a change in perspective and looking for answers with things. And I think that you really wrestle with this. It's like, is this really what I want? And actually, you know, we've got the Two of Pentacles in between the two of them there. You're trying to see it from all perspectives. Is this, because it's the weight of expectation that's really, is really the thing that I'm picking up on. And that's the thing that makes you feel kind of trapped and kind of stuck with this. But I do feel that there's also an aspect of, have I completely missed something here? Am I being reckless? Am I being am I cutting off my own nose to spite my face? Just because I made a plan and actually here's a different version of the thing here? Or is this something really that I want and that I'm not able to go after if I acquiesce to this energy that's coming into me sideways? I feel like there's a lot of kind of rolling all of this around until you get to the answer, and you will get to the answer, because it feels like the Eight of Cups is very much like, no, I'm not interested in what has been built. I'm not interested in what is going on. I'm not interested in what anybody else wants from me at this point. It's all about what I want, and I intend to be the fool. I intend to approach everything myself in my own way. And make my own decisions about this. Next card you've got is the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is about the actions that we take. It is for me a low-level card of manifestation, because the Two of Wands is you considering which direction you want to go in, right? You hit that crossroads and it's like, well, am I going to go left or am I going to go right? I might go straight on, straight through the field if I want to, right? But you kind of stand there and you make the decision, or you walk through the consequences of going that way to town, or that way to country, or that way to the river, whatever it is. And decide if that is something that is in alignment with what you want. The Three of Wands is then when you actually start to make those moves towards that. And as manifestation goes, right, you need to work with it, right? If the energy is there, it's like if you want to meet someone, right, but you never leave the house, and you're just expecting them to just like find you on Facebook or something, like add you and talk to you. Like, these things happen, they do happen, but it's like, what actions are you taking to actually open up the energetic channels for people to come in and find you, joining a group, or I don't know, a choir or something, right? Where are you making the space in your life for somebody to drop in here? If you're spending all of your time sitting at home not even ordering takeaway, because that would be meeting someone, right? Like making yourself some nice food but sitting down with Netflix every night. If you never leave the house, it's not going to come in. So for me, the Three of Wands are about the actions that you take to start getting yourself into alignment with those things that you want, right? With the decisions that you've made previously, and the Two of Wands, the direction of travel here. But here's this King of Cups stomping down there. It's like, hello, here is the weight of my emotional expectation upon you. No, don't want that. What are you doing? But I see you making a choice, Pisces, and I see you making a choice that leads you to your happiness and your happiness alone, right? The Sun card is a card of Leo. It's a beautifully positive card. It's that feeling of the sun on your skin. Oh shit, I've forgotten what that's like. That's my own fault for living in the north of England, right? Just the simple pleasure of just feeling alive and feeling warm, feeling nice, feeling good, feeling like there's nothing required from you, right? There's a childlike quality to the sun. It's the Leo card, right? And it is that playful aspect that you associate with Leo. But in addition to that, there is also then this sense of not having any responsibilities, not having any duties, like being as a child, like Leos often are. And what we've got here is movement from you towards that feeling. Not what was restricting you before, what felt like restriction before. I was like, no, the simple pleasure of being me and being wherever I want to be without any duty, without any responsibility, where I can just be like a child exploring the world for the first time. You know, we're exploring a new environment for the first time. Just being you. There's a big message of innocence here that I'm hearing about. It is that innocent expression of your energy, but being able to go and explore new things, you know, without fear, but without any kind of restriction whatsoever. Let's see if there's anything else Tarot wants to say. Tarot is King of Cups. Wow. King of Cups is clarified by the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like all of this king energy, for most of the king energy that has been appearing for you here, is that somebody else kind of bringing that to you. They have an expectation of a 10 of Pentacles, and you're like, that's exactly the thing that I'm actually rejecting at the moment. That's exactly the thing that I'm trying to move away from. And I mean, it might be the same person, the same group of people, but I kind of don't feel like it is because of that tower there. This is not something that you see coming, which is, you could perhaps see the, you know, whatever you've left behind before, whatever has involved these other people, that perhaps they might come back to you and say, oh, Pisces, don't go off that way, stay with us. That's not an unexpected thing to happen, but this is unexpected. This tower moment is kind of like, well, shit, I didn't see this coming at all. Like, I've just made my peace with all of these things, and I'm going off in this direction, now suddenly this is here, like, what the fuck? Oh, it seems like being quiet is too much to hope for. Let's just shut that up. So, you don't want whatever this 10 of Pentacles is. Like, you're rejecting it. You're rejecting all of it. That's 6 of Swords in the Sun. Oh, yeah, I've got the King of Cups and the 5 of Swords again here. I think the person that you're dealing with does not understand how you need to express yourself now. They're coming from a very different place, right? And there's just that 5 of Swords is that difference of approach between you, but also a difference in direction between you as well. Like, this person, I feel like, wants to maintain a status quo and build on that, whereas you are wanting to be free and released and kind of moving in a direction, right? You want the Ace of Wands. You want that spontaneity that is not present in the very fixed nature of what we're seeing here. So we've got the Knight of Swords, and I think this is important for you. This is Gemini energy, and it's about the transmission of information, really, you know, whether it's internally or externally expressed. So, you know, it's the way that you think, but it's also the way that you express yourself to other people. And I like this very bold energy that we've got going on here, right? You've got something to say, and you are going to say it, Pisces, and it might take you a while and your voice might tremble a little bit, but you've got it, you know what it is. And I think if your voice trembles, it's not because you're frightened. I think it's because you're so fucking loving and so giving that you don't ever want to disappoint anyone, you know. But at the same time, you need to be true to you. And we've got this Ace of Pentacles here with the Fool in reverse and 6 of Cups. It's like, the new start isn't really a new start. if you acquiesce to what is expected of you here. It's just a continuation of what has always been. That full energy that felt so beautiful to you in the beginning of the YouTube reading there is cut off at the knees. And we've got the Six of Cups, we've got the past coming back to you, and like your new start, it's relatively minor compared to the Fool, right? I know some readers say that fools, the aces are so powerful that they need to be exalted, like they can't even be read as part of the reading. The ace is a seed, right? So there's a potential to build something here, but like I said, you're in the process of rejecting what has been built, or wanting to, in the process of rejecting that which feels very stable and solid to you, in favour of something that is much more in alignment with your energy, which is much lighter. It's much more ephemeral. And you don't get to be ephemeral if you go with this Ace of Pentacles here. And this is the past kind of coming out and looking at you. Could be a person from the past coming back, you know. But the most important thing here for you is that it is speaking to an old version of Pisces that you are not anymore, you know. And you need to be able to express that, and I do feel like you'll express that and express it beautifully. We've got the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Swords here. Now this is amazing because the minor arcana runs from the Ace to the 10, but once you hit the 10 you start again up here, and then the whole thing goes here, and then it starts here and up here. Are you ever growing, ever building? And this can be about expression, but the Ten of Swords is about the end of a very difficult chapter of your life, right? It's, oh, fuck, I mean, look at it. It's not a comfortable position for anyone to be in, is it? The meaning of this Ten of Swords here, as I am looking at it, and what I'm hearing is very strongly, is, I'm looking at this chap who's walking past, is the understanding that an old version of you, when stuck, when trapped, kind of hoped that other people would notice, and they were completely oblivious to it. And you kind of hoped that they would shift their behaviour, or they would change the thing that was making you very uncomfortable, and it didn't happen, right? The realisation that comes from this epiphany that you have is that you have to help yourself. You have to be the one who makes the difference, because these people are just going to keep walking past, I don't know, thinking you're a bit of floor art or something like that. You know what I mean? And there's your epiphany. There's the realization that if you want to get out of this situation and be able to start again like that, you have to do things differently to the way that you've done it before. And like I said, the Swords card's all about the mind. It is about words. It's about communication. It's about speech. It's about thought. And they have to be different. They have to change so that you don't get stuck in that same Ten of Swords situation again. Tell me about this sword suit, please. And then Ace of Swords. Oh, what will you come back here? We have the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and whatever that was, the Four of Cups. But it came out in the reverse. This is important because I think you have to understand, or you don't have to understand, you can do what you like, right? But the way that I'm reading it, here you are, Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, is that you are a gift, right, to the planet, but you have to be a gift to yourself first. And where people try and restrain you or hem you in, that's always going to be a situation that's going to feel very uncomfortable for you, right? You want to be somewhere because you want to be there. And that's just the thing, actually. The thing that I've noticed with Pisces is sometimes you don't have any strong feelings either way. It's like, oh, okay, let's do this, that's fine. Yeah, because harmony is what you want, right? and the harmony has been more important to you, making sure that everybody else is okay has been more important to you than your feelings about anything at all. But over time, I think what's been revealed to you is that well, not only is that not right for you, not in the grand scheme of things, it's come at a cost. And that was a cost that you willingly bore for quite a long time, but you've changed and you don't want to bear it in the same way anymore. It doesn't take anything away from you to be able to assert yourself over a situation, because you're allowed to be you, Pisces. You're allowed to not be at the beck and call of everybody else in the world. And that you asserting yourself is not a rejection of other people. And if they perceive it that way, then that's their thing, right? It's about putting you first. And also that, you know, you can be extremely loving and all that sort of thing from a fucking distance, right? You don't need to be right in the middle of everything all of the time, right? You're allowed to go and do your own thing. You're allowed to do anything you fucking want, actually. But holding on to this holding on to a previous way of doing things, a previous way of expressing your love and your affection, or just your general presence, right? It's an old version of you. It's an old version of Pisces. It's one where they did not know themselves, and it was one where self was somewhat an alien concept, you know. You're allowed to choose. It's a death card. You're allowed to choose what you want. And you're allowed to change everything if you don't like it. It's a judgment card there. Like it's a card that speaks very strongly of ascendance here. And for you, that is, you know, understanding that other people's expectations, other people's emotions, other people's everything are actually not your concern. That it's okay for you to choose to do things differently. It's okay for you to choose to change. Now, I've got that very potent High Priestess energy there, and this feels like true, you know, authentic stamp of your energy. Not stamp, you know, stamp, but you know, it's ephemeral. It's not meant to be stuck in any kind of in any kind of situation, right? You want to be there because yourself wants to be there, not because you're just kind of fairly ambivalent as to whether you're there or not, but it's what other people need, you know? High Priestess. Temperance card and the Devil. That's interesting. I like that combination. I've said it before. I like the combination of the High Priestess and the Devil because it's very artistic, but it's about expressing yourself here in this dominion, because everything that is material is the dominion of the Devil, right? But you've got something else to do. Right? You've got a way of expressing yourself. You've actually almost got peace to bring to the world. If that's not too big a fucking statement to make, you've got peace to bring to the world in your own particular way. You know, the Temperance card is all about healing. It's about an alchemical process of turning fire into water, you know, turning what is painful into something much more healing, you know. And we've got, this is the method this is the way by which you make it happen. There we go. I fucking lost my thing. You know, your energy here, what it is that you're tapped into, what it is that you can channel and then make flesh so that other people can perceive it, leads to a Five of Wands in reverse. It's a state of peace where there was something quite uncomfortable before it, you know? That makes sense. Tell me about this Five of Wands. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. It's low level Court card. It's the first rung of the hierarchy, and it talks about going off in a slightly different direction, but it also means an apology. And you don't have to apologize for being you. You don't have to apologize for doing things the way that you do them. And it's not even that you don't have to, it's that you shouldn't. Because it's not something to apologise for. We've got the Hermit card there. It's a card of Virgo. But it's a card of finding the answers within you. Strength card at the bottom of the deck there, right? It's not to be found outside of you, it's to be found within you. And we've got the Five of Cups that has just come out, but it's in the reverse here, right? And focusing on the wrong thing and the loss and, you know, potential feelings of grief that somebody else might have, you know, stabilizing that and going, actually, this isn't my issue. It's not my issue. You know, it's almost like there's a kind of teaching moment here for somebody else, and that they will learn a lot from you kind of going, no, I don't want this. And being true to yourself and what you do want. You know, it's a huge teaching moment here for somebody else. But whether there is or whether there isn't actually isn't really relevant to you at this point. And that's kind of the point. So we've got Page of Cups. We've got the Page of Cups here. And I like this page because they're on a journey all of their own. And this page always, in some ways, the Page of Cups feels to me more like Piscean energy than the Knight of Cups does, although it doesn't have a strict correlation. Right? It's kind of like a wild card almost. It's here with the Two of Pentacles, the Tower again, and the Strength card. I think you have to go in your own way. You have to go in your own direction, Pisces, and make your peace with that, right? You know, maybe it's, you know, like this. It's John Bauer deck. It's awesome. I don't know if you can see that, but the girl, the blonde girl in front there, has a pair of eyeglasses, and she's just kind of peering at these here. You're like, oh, who are you? What are you? You know, think about it, if you will. Feel your way through this situation, but ultimately you make your own decisions. You go in your own way, and that might be a tower to somebody else, but it's not your issue, right? Because you have grown here and you are strong enough to be able to withstand that. But more than that, we have this energy of the Magician here at the bottom of the deck. You're all about manifesting what it is that you want at this point, and where anybody else tries to lay claim to any part of you in a way that you haven't instigated, I feel like you're kind of moving away from that altogether, because it's not right for you, and you know it's not right for you. And more importantly, you won't be told that it's for you, which you would have done before. You'd have gone, oh, okay, fine, that's right, I'll do that. It's not this. Like, you've grown so much bigger, Pisces, and I think that you'll get more of an insight into that this month than you have had up until now, because you've just been kind of doing your own thing, going your own Pisces way with stuff, and that's all fine, you know. But this is a test, and I don't like I don't like the implications of the word test, because it's something that you could fail then. It's more like a checkpoint. But once you've passed it, you know, you don't go back further than the checkpoint at this point. It's like a save point on a game, right? So it doesn't really matter what fucks up from this point on. Like, you'll just go back to the save point. You know, like, here I am big. I, you know, have a sense of self. I can direct the course of my life. I don't need to just subjugate myself to a collective, to a person, to anything, right? I can just be. I think that's pretty much the message of this reading, Pisces. So I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that this was helpful. I really do. Know that I love you all very, very much. And I will see you soon.